Something that I have been sitting with recently as I reflect on my perception of my identity is how much value I have placed on the association of being reliable. So, as a person, being able to show up for other people and doing what I say I'm going to do. Early motherhood has really rocked that value that I hold, that perception that I hold of myself, because I make a plan and then I wake up and my son has a fever, or I intend to do something and then the day gets away from me, or I don't have the hands, or I completely forget to write down a meeting time. And I've noticed that I am really hard on myself and pretty unforgiving when I don't show up in a way that I have expected myself to, or the way that I've told someone else. And a practice that I'm sitting with now is how I can really be in a space of compassion without lowering standards to the point where unreliability becomes the association that I have with my identity. It's a tricky one because compassion for me is a daily practice, it's an ongoing thing. And there's some part of me that is convinced that if I really am generous in the compassion department, that I won't be as motivated, that I won't be as dedicated, that I won't be as reliable. And of course, we can smile as I say this because it's not true, but there is some part of me that holds on to that story. And it's one that I've also seen in a lot of the women that I work with, where there's some kind of internal wagon driver, some critic, maybe guised as a motivator, that is convinced that if it's not so hard on us and not so demanding and not so unforgiving, that maybe we'll relax a little too much, or get a little lazy, or not go as far, or do as much. And of course, the reality is that being in the space of love and compassion is a space where we can relax, but relax to the point that we actually are able to do what needs to be done, and not from a place of stress, not from a place of lack. And for me, it feels literally like a day by day, minute by minute remembrance of that. Recently I was supposed to see a friend for a video call, and I mistook the time zone by an hour and completely blew past the call. And I knew that she did a lot to make that call happen, and she arranged things with her schedule specifically around me, and I felt so bad. Like, I was really beating myself up. And I was given the gift of her grace, which served as a model and a reminder that it's okay. And her understanding and her genuine compassion towards me was really a reminder of just how beautiful and how much of a blessing that is, and how me being hard on myself isn't going to guarantee that I'm not going to make that mistake again, or that I'm not going to show up in the way that I wanted to or not. But it means that I get to have a slightly lighter and easier experience through this crazy thing called life and early mothering. So that's a topic that is really relevant and present to me right now. The idea of reliability, what it means to be reliable, and really the takeaway that I'm offering here is that we can be reliable in kindness, in love, in compassion, and especially during a phase like early motherhood where things can be crazy. That's enough.